Little things been breaking and keeping us out of the winner's circle. Just wondering when it's going to stop. And just hope for just a little bit of luck. Might help us.
Horton gathered in the last 20 laps and landed the biggest prize of his career. Today, it is another typical Syracuse day at the Moody Mile. The chance of rain, overcast skies, and again today, 50 men and machines are ready to do battle. I'm Roy Silva, and joining me for the Miller High Life 300 is Dick Berggren, the editor of Stock Car Racing Magazine. And Dick, a story unfolds before we even begin. The pole sitter has problems.
He sure does. Billy Pouch won the pole here, but in his practice session this morning, boy, did he have a bevy of troubles. Number one, he threw the oil pump belt on his engine. That meant he ran that engine without oil pressure for a little while. How long will it run? Was the engine damaged? No one really knows. At about the same time, the pole sitter also suffered transmission problems. He's gone about 30 miles an hour riding around the racetrack after they repaired it, but that's the best he could do so far. Several teams, in fact, contending teams, had problems in the first practice session. I'm going to tell you what, Roy, this is a wide open event. Not even the fastest cars are guaranteed here.
And they are the fastest cars. This is the fastest Syracuse field ever. Andy Fusco looks at the field.
Thanks, Roy. This is indeed the most competitive field in Syracuse history. The top 30 cars time trialed within 1 second of each other. And drivers at Syracuse will tell you that because the track is so narrow and the groove so slim that when everyone is that close together, passing is almost impossible. So if you can't pass out there on the racetrack, you're going to have to do it here in the pits. That makes pit stops more important this year than ever before at the Moody Mile.
One other story that is unfolding here at Syracuse, the 1986 winner, Bob McCready, is not here. He was here, he qualified, he packed up and left. With that story, Andy Fusco.
Chief Steward Marty Beverwick, 18th place starter Bob McCready is withdrawn from today's event. Why?
We had a little controversy over the legality of a front bumper on the car, and Bob made some promises that he was going to change the bumper, and push came to shove the other day, and I gave him the ultimatum to either change the bumper, make it legal, or don't bring the car here, and he chose not to come back.
What exactly was wrong with the car's bumper?
It was a one-piece bumper, and the rule book definitely tells you it will be two-piece, a double bar bumper, and it was a single bar bumper.
Why was he allowed to time trial in the first place?
Why? Because originally he was told that, and with little negotiations, he made some other changes to the car. But before he time trialed, when he time trialed the first day, he taped a piece of conduit on it to, so it represented a legal bumper.
When he told you he was going to load up and go home, did you think he was serious?
Not really.
We are ready for the Miller High Life 300 kilometers, 188 times around the Moody Mile of the New York State Fairgrounds in Syracuse. Here's the starting lineup. In the front row, 126, Billy Pouch, number 30, Kenny Brightbill. Row 2, 85, Jimmy Horton, 44, Frank Cozy. The third row, 125, Doug Hoffman, 98, Ed Marshall. In row number 4, 27J, Danny Johnson, and the number 1 of Ray Bateman. In the fifth row, 704, Fritz Eppright, number 20, Brett Hearn. Row 6, 22, Dave Lape, 86, Elvin Feldy. Row 7, 97, Mike Romano, and the 10 of Rich Urich. In the eighth row, it's the 0 of Lou Blaney and the 7 of Dave Blaney, father and son, in the row number 8. Row 9, 17, Richie Tobias, scheduled to go Bobby McCready. In the number 9, we already told you that story. Outside in row 9, it's the 14J of Alan Johnson. In the 10th row, it's the 99 of Dickie Larkin, the number 2 of Danny Watson. In row number 11, 31Q, Matt Quinn, and the 1Z of Tom Mayberry. Row number 12, Tommy Corellis in the 57, 117, Lynn Huff. In the 13th row, 111, Charlie Rudolph, 74, Jeff Hetzler. In row number 14, 12A, Jack Johnson, a former winner, 35, Glenn Fitzcharles. In the 15th row, 73, Kenny Brand, 115, Ken Tremont. In row number 16, 24, John Strupp, 85, Gary Wright. In the 17th row, the number 8 of Jack Cottrell, the 91 of Billy Decker. And they're coming down the front straight right now one more time. The fans making a lot of noise here at Syracuse. Going back to row number 18, 42 P. Pat Ward, 82 Rick Jeffrey. In the 19th row, 173 Donnie Wetmore, the 71E of Carl Fuzzy Van Horn. In row number 20, 11 of Sammy Rogers, 77J John Flock. In the 21st row, 76 Fred Smith, 96 Richie Polans. In the 22nd row, the number 171 of Randy Glensky, the 16 of Kevin Collins. In the 18th row, 78 Rick Ween, 47 Brian Gooey. Next row, the 19th row, for number 71 Scott Kania, 444 Brian Stevens, then the 61 of C.D. Colville, and the promoters optioned the added driver, the number 352 of John Proctor. 51 cars ready to go for the Miller High Life 300. And Dick, they're coming around for the start this time, coming in between the corners. The pace car will get out of the way. You can see the front row. There are 4 former winners in the field, 11 rookies. Coming down, Billy Pouch, the question mark on the pole after earlier problems today outside the 30 of Kenny Brightbill down the front straight. Starter Paul Loftus, Middletown, waves the green flag, and Billy Pouch, the fastest time trialer on the first day of qualifying, moves out in front. Kenny Brightbill runs in the number 2 spot as they go down the back straightaway. Jimmy Horton, last year's winner, runs in 3rd.
Pouch really did jump the start. He was gone. He was definitely in the lead before the green flag, but they decided to go ahead and give it the green flag anyway. Pouch with a good lead going down the backstretch.
Frank Cozy running in the 4th spot. Cozy, number 44. Horton, the winner last year, running 3rd, trying to move up on the field as they all trail Billy Pouch here at the end of lap number 1 of the Miller High Life 300. Jimmy Horton running 3rd, the defending champion. It's unlikely somebody is going to lead this race all the way, Dick. There are going to be 2, maybe 3 pit stops in the race. Fuel mileage, a very important factor here at the Moody Mile in Syracuse this year.
It really is, and at least one competitor, Jack Johnson, is going to try to do it on 1 pit stop. Frank Cozy in the 44 may also try to do it on 1 pit stop. But right now, we've got a battle on the racetrack for 2nd and 3rd position. Brightbill running in 2nd. That's the white car in the lead on your screen. Horton is right behind him. He's last year's winner. He is trying to take that 2nd spot away from Brightbill.
Frank Cozy running in 4th, and Doug Hoffman is right now in 5th. That's the way they started this race. By the way, speaking of Kenny Brightbill, he has had a good season on the dirt tracks this year, running 2nd right now at Syracuse. Will Cagle, who is 2nd on the all-time point list at the Moody Mile for this race, says that Brightbill is his choice to win this one. Cagle, now the man in charge of the Orange County Fairgrounds Speedway, says Brightbill is the man to watch here for the Miller High Life 300. Right now, he is running about 20 car lengths behind Billy Pouch. Pouch, the pace setter. Brightbill in 2nd as they continue to run in the same order. Jimmy Horton 3rd, Frank Cozy, and Doug Hoffman. The cars have strung out pretty quickly, running single file, very little racing for position going on at all at the very early stages. Not too unusual in a long distance race, Dick.
No, this is time to pace yourself, and that's just what everybody is doing. They're leaving some distance between themselves and the car that's in front of them. They don't have rear view mirrors in their cars, so they don't know how to pace the guy behind them, but they sure know how to pace the car in front of them. Pretty much everybody is going to look to make a fuel stop on lap 40, 45, 50, 55, depending on where the yellow flags fly. Brightbill on the left side of your screen. You can see the distance between himself and 3rd place. Horton, he's on the right side of your screen.
Eddie Marshall in a battle for 5th right now with Doug Hoffman. He is a 2nd-generation driver. His father, Ernie Marshall, a former winner of the New York State Fair Championship Labor Day weekend. Of course, that happened a couple of decades ago. Now, Eddie Marshall trying to pick up a win here. He has never won at the Moody Mile. The first rookie in the field, the starting position with Dave Blaney driving the Billy Taylor-owned, Phil's Taylor-sponsored car number 1. Blaney trying to move up through the field, was running in 2nd in the Ground Round National Sprint Car race here for Super Dirt Week at Syracuse before dropping out with engine problems. Lou Blaney, another one of the drivers who is scheduled to try to make it on 1 pit stop today. Lou Blaney, Dave's father, came awfully close to winning this race a few years ago, dropping out late in the race with mechanical problems. Here is Brett Hearn. Hearn moving in, trying to get underneath the Tom Mayberry number 1 into the first turn. Almost got it crossed up, but Hearn, a superb driver, able to gather it back under his own control and drifted through the corner without getting underneath. That's the number 1 of Ray Bateman, not Mayberry. There are 3 number 1s that started the field. They renumbered 2 of them, and that is Ray Bateman's active 1 that's running just ahead of Brett Hearn. Here's your leader, Billy Pouch, down the front chute. You can see again, Dick, he has a very, very comfortable lead over Kenny Brightbill, but as you have alluded to, nobody is going to take too many stupid chances early in the race. You got to let things sort out. Everybody knows they got to make a pit stop or 2, and things will change in the pit area.
Well, nevertheless, I'm having a good time watching this Bateman race with Brett Hearn. Bateman on the left of your screen driving car number 1. That was the fastest car to take time trials, but he did his fastest lap out of the first day on the second day, so he did not get to start the race right up in the very front. He started in 8th position. Brett Hearn was able to do his deal on the very first day, so he was a little bit better off.
And Bateman was the only driver to qualify faster on the second day than the pole sitter did on day number 1. So Billy Pauch was second fastest qualifier overall. Pauch right now is starting to get up into a string of about 15 slower cars. There are a lot of slower cars now, less than a straightaway ahead of the leader. This will start to tell some stories when he gets up into them. John Proctor, the added driver, running just ahead of race leader Billy Pauch.
Bateman way wide coming off the 4th turn. He really got into the loose stuff. He's got the hammer down trying to catch up because Hearn has just gotten by him.
Billy Pauch has now passed the first of the back markers. Well, as I say that, he doesn't quite get by. As Proctor swung out in front of him, you can see Pauch now has had to slow down for John Proctor. The promoter's option added to the field. He finished just out of a qualifying spot in the non-qualifiers race. Pauch goes by, cleanly out in front. Kenny Brightbill trying to follow him through. Brightbill right now behind Proctor. Jimmy Horton still running in 3rd. Frank Cozy 4th. Doug Hoffman is in 5th. Then Eddie Marshall running 6th. Brett Hearn is 7th. Bateman running in the number 8 position.
Pauch is about to exercise his skill in traffic. He has just about the whole back of the field right in front of him, and they are really tight. The key here is to feed your way through without damaging the car. Especially don't hit those front wheels and get them misaligned.
He came down the front straight, Dick. It looked to me like he was going to try to come low under all those lapped cars, which may not have been a great move. Then he swung back out to the outside and managed to start picking him off. But Kenny Brightbill has closed a lot of ground on him. Brightbill and Horton running 2nd and 3rd have picked up a lot of yardage on front-running Billy Pauch as they come through traffic.
Boy, are they ever in traffic. It is very tight here as they negotiate the corners in Syracuse. Still, all 51 cars that started this race are on the speedway.
Well, one is about to drop out. That's the 85 of Gary Wright, the Texas driver. The only driver in the field from Texas has now gone into the infield. We understand that Wright is going to try to put together a deal to run the New York State Dirt Circuit in 1989. Billy Pauch continues to set a torrid pace, but he's got company behind with Kenny Brightbill and defending champion Jimmy Horton right up there with him. Here's Pauch swinging to the inside of some of the back markers. He has started to build a little bit of ground now, again over Kenny Brightbill, but Pauch has 2 slower cars ahead, one of them Donnie Wetmore in the 73 Dig. Pauch now on the back straight where it's not a good place to pass.
Yeah, and he just belted him too in the back bumper. He said, hey, I'm here, move over, I want to go by. Wetmore was very polite. He pulled down, let Pauch go by.
Pauch continues to have just 4 slower cars ahead of him now, and then he'll have a little bit of breathing ground on the track. Passing flag is out for those 4. As Pauch now goes to the outside down into the first turn. Kenny Brightbill just 1 lap car between him and Pauch, but Brightbill got out of shape right there. Horton was not able to take advantage of it. They are bunched together still. Pauch with 3 slower cars ahead of them, one of them Carl Fuzzy Van Horn. As Pauch comes to the outside in turn 3.
Now once he gets by these additional cars, Pauch is going to have clear sailing at least for a while, but he's hung right out there in the loose stuff trying to get by. Look at this, 3 wide coming off the 4th turn, and Pauch is the widest of the 3.
And he goes by Randy Glensky and Mark Quinn and tucks it out in front. He's now got about a straightaway before he runs into any more lap traffic, but Kenny Brightbill is still in the traffic, as is Jimmy Horton. Horton stuck underneath one of the cars going down the back straight. Brightbill on the outside. Pauch with clear sailing, and boy, once he got out in front, Dick, he has just opened it up. Goodbye.
Yeah, you can pretty well count on him doing that. And I'll guarantee you, though, it's not going to be too terribly long before the guys who, oh, we got trouble coming off the 4th corner. 1 car wide, really wide. It was Horton. Somebody had slowed down, and Horton almost lost it. We nearly had a terrible tangle there.
That was Randy Glensky, who is going to bring out the yellow flag, I think. He is stuck up on the outside of the track in turn 1, the R17. You see him on the screen right there. Something broke on the car. He's limping around trying to get back into the pits, and the yellow does come out. Here is a look at the Jimmy Horton coming down the front chute, trying to, and you can see he does. He runs into the back of Randy Glenski right there, Dick. Then they both get badly out of shape, and both manage to collect it up.
Boy, Horton almost collected the wall as well as collecting Glenski. But look at this now. He goes right to the inside. Look at Hearn go on the inside of Horton. Good move, Jimmy Horton.
Here's another replay of the same incident coming up. We'll look at it from a little bit different angle. Randy Glenski, the R17, loses power. Boy, Horton just drove right up underneath him, lifted the rear end of Glenski's car probably 2 feet in the air. Pace car is coming in. We mentioned 4 former winners in the field. Jimmy Horton, one of them. Brett Hearn, a former winner. Alan Johnson and Jack Johnson getting ready for the restart. They start to throttle up, coming into the 3rd turn. On it hard, coming off turn number 4. Again, Pouch on the power coming down the front straight. Moves quickly. He'll build up some breathing room right away as he's got 2 or 3 lap cars between himself and runner-up Kenny Brightbill. Brightbill in the number 30 with 2 lap cars separating him from front-running Billy Pouch. Freddie Smith in trouble back at the rear of the field, the number 76. Brett Hearn moving up past Doug Hoffman now to take over 4th. Hearn doing a great job in that Pepsi number 20, but it's all the Keystone Pretzel number 126 of Billy Pouch in front. He has led it all the way, continues to do so.
He's got an open track in front of him. He's got absolutely nobody in front of him. Brightbill has got 2 cars he's got to pass before he can close in on the leader, and everybody else, well, they are just mired in traffic. 50 of the 51 starters are still on the speedway after 20 laps of this 188-lap contest.
And with a lot of lap traffic, you've still got 3rd, 4th, and 5th running together as they are beating on each other a little bit in turn number 3. Frank Cozy, we got a spin over in turn 2 that'll bring out the yellow flag. Frank Cozy running 3rd has Brett Hearn right behind him.
And we've also got trouble on the backstretch. We've got another car crashed out.